Good day, everybody in the Eiffel Tower listening world. Well, you know what I mean. My name is Lena Nordin G. I'm the wife of Oliver G. And we are here to do a story today about the letter C. Oliver, what do you think?
Carnavalet Museum.
Ah.
Did you say good day as in good day?
Yeah. It just came out.
And you just said, let me start. I said, okay. So, Carnavalet Museum.
Mm?
I'm sure there's people who've never heard about it. So, I'm going to rewind for a sec. Some people come to this podcast looking for tips of things to do in Paris. Some people come for history. Some people come for, as fortunate as we are to say this, some people come for our own story, storytelling, anecdotes. Mm-hmm. This episode contains all of that. And it's about the Carnavalet Museum. So if you never heard about it before, this is the oldest city museum in Paris. I think it's probably my favorite museum.
Oh, weirdly, I thought it opened. Oh, it was under renovation for a long time. I thought it was only opened 5 years ago.
Essentially, it was.
Oh.
But it was open in 1880, I think, first.
Yes, of course.
And then, museum fans will be saying, what about the Louvre? 1793 or whatever it is. City Museum, that's a national museum. If you're going to get all into the rules, the Carnavalet is the oldest city museum. It's about the history of Paris. And when I passed it on my Marais walking tour, I say it's obligatory to go there.
Also, it's free, so you can just pop in, pop out again if you don't like it.
Totally.
But I think you like it. I love it.
Well, so much so that I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I'm going to talk about this museum for an episode and include a really cool anecdote that happened 5 years ago that for some reason I never told. I've just been saving it for like a memoir or something that I haven't written.
Yeah.
So for this sort of alphabet season where we're going through the alphabet and talking about different things in Paris, C seemed like the perfect choice to do Carnavalet. So let's start with a little bit of music and then let's get into it. So before anything else, I think I just want to continue on this line of the history of it. Do you know why it's called the Carnavalet Museum?
Not even at all. No idea.
What if I told you it was named after Mr. Carnavalet?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it's not.
Oh, okay. What is it, Mrs. Carnavalet?
Not maybe? Even close.
No?
It's actually named after. Maybe the best way to do this is I want you to imagine that you're a 16th century Parisian woman.
Okay.
You can be noble.
Please.
Okay. And you're hanging around, you meet a guy who's from Brittany.
I don't think I'll be hanging around.
What are you doing?
I'll be eating cake, probably.
Yeah. Where?
And somewhere pink and satiny.
You single in this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking for love in all the wrong places because this guy from Brittany walks in. You're Parisian. You don't speak the Breton dialect. His name is Françoise de Kernevenoy.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, try and say it as a Parisian.
I already forgot.
Exactly, that's the point. François, you got.
Yeah. Carnavalet.
Say it again.
Carnavalet.
What?
No way.
Yeah, so the name, because I always thought the name of this museum was weird.
It is weird.
It sounds like carnival.
Yeah.
Carnavalet. And I always thought it's a bad name for a museum. No disrespect. I love easy to remember ones.
Yeah, it's quite forgettable
Louvre,
name. Yeah.
D'Orsay. I know that they're names of things, whatever, but one,
I guess they're just famous enough.
But it turns out Carnavalet is not even a word. It's Kernevenoy. Kernevenoy.
Kernevenoy.
So this guy's kind of interesting. The story, actually.
So why is it his name on the museum? What's that got to do with the rich lady?
The story gets more interesting.
With me? What's that got to do with me as the rich lady?
You're looking for a suitor.
Yeah.
Like Françoise.
So I woo him with a museum? I'm like, here, monsieur.
Not really. Okay, So the more I researched this, trying to figure out, the more the story got interesting elsewhere. Okay, so it's called Carnavalet Museum because Mrs. Kernevenoy lived there in the 16th century. It's that simple. And the name changed to Carnavalet.
Was she also Breton?
No, She's the interesting one. Her name is Françoise de La Baume. B-A-U-M-E.
Oh, so that's me, essentially.
Yeah, no, well, you were just, you're not
Okay, I'm
part of the
her.
story.
I need to put myself in this
You're
story.
just a Parisian woman walking around
My ego
mispronouncing.
needs-
No, you're mispronouncing the words.
Okay.
You're simply
So
here.
I'm Mrs. Carnavalet.
No.
Oh.
You're just some street woman in Paris.
Right.
Who can't pronounce foreign words. And because of the street people like you,
Yeah.
the name gets bastardized and turned into something that
So
people
it's like
can
that
pronounce.
whispering game.
It is exactly like that.
Oh.
Exactly. So the interesting character isn't the guy. He marries a woman called Françoise de La Baume, and she's fascinating. She's a fascinating woman.
Yeah.
What happens? So I'm not going to read the facts. I've read it all day. This is how I remember it. Okay. She's noble. She gets married off at a very young age, 12 or 13, to a different guy. 5 kids. He dies.
Okay.
She probably gets her wealth from him, I'd say. Next guy comes along, and they're
takes
together.
on the 5 kids.
They're together for a while. I don't know, actually, but he dies as well. So she's a widower twice. With a big estate. She was a high flyer, and she was hanging out with Catherine de Medici, or Medicis.
Catherine de Medici.
Yeah, and working as like a diplomatic aide to her, basically.
Wow, okay.
And with all the money she saved up as a double widow, she buys the mansion.
Woman power here.
Yeah, so she buys the mansion and lives there. So this is the mansion that the museum is in the Marais, right? The history of Paris. And at this point, people love her. She's beautiful. She lives long for that time, till about 70. She's very beautiful, very lovable. Authors were writing about her. Other suitors, some I'll never remember their names, but very prominent, wealthy people trying to bag her. She's not interested. She's like, I've got my mansion. Screw you all. I've already been broken twice by my men die.
I got my 5 kids. I'm fine.
Yeah. And then I said, we're going to do the short version. Her house remains standing in the Marais, escapes the clutches of Baron Haussmann's redo in the 1850s.
So I guess
70s.
not, like it didn't get inherited down and everything.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, we're talking about 400 years here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But then fast forward to 1880, the city snaps up the Hôtel Particulier, it's called, like the aristocratic mansion, turns it into a museum, the History of Paris Museum. It's beloved by everybody until it would be 2016, 17, right around when I started this podcast. So now the family anecdotes come into it.
Okay.
So I'm doing the podcast episodes. I'm asking people in those early days, tell me your favorite thing to do in Paris. Oh, I love the Carnavalet Museum. And I'm just
itching.
I'm itching to see it
Yeah.
because it's in the midst of a 4.5-year, 56 million euro renovation.
Yeah.
It turned out 60% of the stuff they've got wasn't even on display. It was in the storerooms or whatever.
Wow.
They wanted to rebuild it in a way, or at least redecorate it in a way.
You can showcase more of the items. Oh,
so I'm going on the podcast, hearing people recommend it. Can't wait till it's going to finally reopen. And what do you think happens?
Well, the bees and the flowers, or what do you call it? The bees and birds?
The bees and the birds. We fast forward 400 years from Françoise de La Baume and François de Carnavalet to us.
Yeah.
And our firstborn child is due to be born on May 21st, 2021, 5 years ago, more or less. And lo and behold, an email pops up in my inbox from the Musée de la Carnavalet. Hey, Oliver. They wrote it in French, though, but they say, hey, bud, we know you're interested in the museum. Could we tempt you with a private viewing of it before it opens to the public?
Yeah.
Post-renovation,
Yeah.
private, do what you want. I say, when?
I would scratch that itch.
Yeah, I said, you've scratched my itch, just give me a date. And they say May 21st. I say, that date seems really important for some reason. I'll get back to you. Do you remember this story?
Sort of.
We haven't chatted over
it. It was a bit of a haze.
Yeah. So I said, and I tell this story or versions of this story sometimes on the walking tour that I do. And people always have quite a strong reaction to this next bit. I said to you, hey, do you think you're going to give birth today?
And that was my first, like, it was a to be our firstborn. So I didn't know what to compare. I didn't know anything. So I was like,
do you remember what you said?
No, I think not.
Because I don't want to get too deep into how the different within France and the rest of the world, they do due dates differently. France is ambitious. They put it at the start of possibility, basically.
Well, yeah, essentially they can extend it 2 weeks from that date.
Yeah.
So it's like maximum end date, and then they just subtract 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that was May 21st.
And elsewhere they subtract 1 week. Is that how it works?
I think so. I think it's different.
I'm just trying to make myself feel better because I said, is there any chance you can hold off for us? No, I don't remember how we talked about it.
Cross your legs.
But the verdict kind of was that I think you said, you go, but don't look away from your phone. I was on the scooter in those days, and be prepared to turn around and come back at a moment's notice, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your version?
Well, I can't. To be honest, I can't really remember.
No.
I think I was so.
Maybe I just said I'm popping out to get some milk.
Yeah, but I was like, it's taking
Funny,
really
I can't
long.
remember 5 years ago. It's only 5 years ago.
Well, it makes me sound like a very nice wife. Yeah, understanding and supportive.
Yeah.
And I like that. Let's stick to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I go to the museum and I'm kind of panicking because I'm really excited to see it, but I obviously don't want to. I want to be there and present and everything. And I'm ready to go at a moment's notice. So I got my phone on, got the sound on, and I rock up. And this museum, now we can actually get into the contents of the museum a little bit. The first room you see in there is nothing short of astonishing. It's this big empty room with a lovely wooden spiral staircase at the back. Big empty room. The only thing that's in the room are shop front signs. And what I mean by that is not like butcher, baker, but the signs that hang off perpendicular.
Like swing signs.
Exactly. Swing signs, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like tobacconist or bar or whatever. And they've gathered them from the history of Paris, often at times when people were illiterate. So they'll have things like creative ways of saying...
I love this room, and I think it's a perfect way to welcome people in. It's like you come in via the signs. It's so, like, it makes so much sense. So yeah, what you said, it's got like the signs that are for people who can't read. It's very self-explanatory. So it's like, if it's an optician, it will be like a pair of eyes.
Gatsby eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a pharmacy, it could be, I'm just making this up, but it could be a man with his tongue sticking out.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's a cross.
Or if it's a shoe shop, it would be a shoe or a boot.
Yeah, sometimes they took pride in making these special, and the ones that survived over the centuries were probably good ones as well. You know,
I'm sure.
So you see that as you go in, and then you go through 3 or 4 floors of the history of Paris, which can date back 6,000 years. The first canoes that people landed here way before the Romans. To I think there's like a Napoleon's death mask or Proust's reconstruction of his bedroom, Marie Antoinette's diaries.
Exactly, or a whole room dedicated to your favorite, the Art Nouveau master himself.
Exactly, Guimard.
That's right, and it's such a beautiful collection. It's great.
Is it Guimard? There's definitely an Art Nouveau room.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, but you might be thinking of the Petit Palais. But either way, there's all kinds of stuff. I know there's definitely Art Nouveau. Anyhow, there's also Grace, the giraffe stuff that we can talk about later. But so I go in to that amazing room. Everything's new for me for the first time. Remember, I'm thinking I'm about to have a child today, too. So it's really kind of a weird vibe to go in. And I want it to be quick, even though I would love to stay there for ages. But I go in, and there's maybe 6 other journalists from like the big newspapers and stuff. And me, I don't know how it happened that way, but that's how it happened. And I walk in, and they've got a lovely curator kind of person who's sort of giving the speech in French. And like, we're going to give you an in-depth tour of this thing. And I was like, this is all wrong. This is not at all how, I can't be doing a long, slow thing where I'm not in control. I might be gone in 2 minutes. And they had like a helper there as well. And really quickly, I just went up to the helper and I said, hey, am I expected to stay on this tour, or am I allowed to explore a little bit? I didn't mention the whole story, but I just sort of sensed the vibe. And they said, oh, no, you do whatever you want. Like, basically, mikasi,
that
sukasa.
was your ticket out.
I said, all right, bye then. And I went, in my mind, I spent 20 minutes, but I've just looked through all the photos and videos that I took. I was there for an hour, but I knew you weren't...
Well, I guess I was staying quiet.
So I raced through this museum. You can't really see anything in an hour. It's huge, but I feel like I did. I went back and watched some of these videos. These videos I'll share. I'll share everything that I've got. I've held on to all this stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
There's a 3-minute video that I took that I'll put on YouTube where I just walked room to room to room to room. There's no security. Usually they got one... In all French museums, they got one sort of bored-looking staff member who's just sitting on a chair in the corner.
Yeah.
When I saw this museum, there was no one anywhere. And the history of Paris is my favorite kind of thing, so I was just flipping out.
Yeah.
Flipping out. There's like over 100 rooms in there.
It's huge. I'm not sure I've been to all the rooms. I don't think so.
Well, we often pop in, not often, but sometimes we just pop in for 20 minutes and get a look at a different room.
Look, yeah.
So I'm taking all these pictures, looking around at everything, entirely alone, when I suppose the guilt gets the better of me. And I messaged, I was like, how's everything? And I think he said fine, probably.
Yeah.
But I just sensed I shouldn't be there too long. And I don't know what I did. I said, I don't even know if there was anyone to thank.
You just snuck out again.
I just left the way that I came.
Thank you, bye.
And jumped on the scooter and came home to find... I went through my pictures. My last picture in there, the next picture is you laying on the bed in this, another story we've never told. We had a gold room.
Yeah.
There's another story I've been saving for the memoir. And it's just you laying on that with like a 9-month
huge
stomach.
belly.
Yet, Otis, our son, wasn't born for another 9 days.
Well, he's a stubborn one.
Comfortable and stubborn. 9 days. It wasn't even a close call at all.
Nope.
I race home sweating like, I'm here.
I'm
How are you feeling?
Let's grab the
We
bag.
had to be induced in the end.
I know.
So it wasn't even close.
No, it's very frustrating.
Anyhow, it wasn't frustrating. No, it was lovely. But it was a funny way of seeing that museum, really.
Yeah, what a start.
So that brings me to, we talked a little bit about what was inside. I want to talk about the giraffe stuff.
Yes.
As a little backstory.
Yeah.
We went after, we went together, and we found a room that really tickled us, where they had giraffe memorabilia.
Yeah, basically old souvenirs.
So the story is in the 1820s or maybe early 1830s.
Yeah. I think it's 1827, but yeah.
There was a giraffe that was gifted to the French king from the Egyptian king. The giraffe walked all the way to Paris. No one had seen anything like it. So from Marseille to Paris over, I think it was 40 days, started this huge fashion trend. And the Parisians started dressing with
giraffe mania.
Yeah, with like giraffe horn.
Yeah,
hair.
Giraffe-inspired hairdos
and patterns and clothes and
everything.
And in the Carnavalet, at the top floor somewhere, there's a cabinet full of this giraffe memorabilia from 200 years ago. So like hand fans and
plates and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we just saw that story and we're like, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
and we used that as the inspiration for the third children's book that we did, Grace the Giraffe.
Exactly.
So if you've got that book and you've ever wondered, there's a line in it that's like something like, there's souvenirs left, you can see them, just stop for a while in a famous museum.
It's the Carnavalet.
It's the Kernevenoy.
Yeah.
So now you know as well.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our fifth book, Sophie in Paris. Out now, literally. If you're in the States, it's out now. We haven't got them in Europe. We haven't got them to send to the rest of the world yet.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, but yes.
But the Americans are starting to get them and have been sending in lovely pictures and stuff. So if you've got a copy of Sophie in Paris, send it along because we're jealous that you guys have one and we don't.
It's so exciting.
And if you're wondering what we're talking about there, the eiffeltower.com/shop has all your answers. Otherwise, let's talk about this museum. Do you like it as a Swede in Paris?
Very much.
Close proximity to the Swedish Institute.
That's true. And they have a lovely little coffee shop called Fika, and I can highly recommend the cinnamon buns.
What does fika mean?
It means essentially coffee and cake. The coffee break. That's
like a religion over there, the concept of fika, isn't it?
Very.
So, and Carnavalet, I just don't think you can go wrong. It's closed on Mondays, free to get in there. You're in the center of Paris, and it's just a wondrous museum. My only advice really would be take your time there. Don't go on the day that your child is to be born. That's not the best way to do it. Take your time and explore. But C is for Carnavalet. Later on this week, I'll reshare what we did for C back in the day as part of our push of putting out more episodes and not letting the really old ones languish when they're worth resharing. But huge thanks to everyone who's been on a walking tour lately. They're popular at the moment.
They're very popular. They're selling out, aren't they?
Monday mornings,
Yeah.
EiffelTower.com/tours. Speaking of tours and experiences, you're dipping your foot in the world.
Yeah, I'm dipping my brush in the world. Well, I was thinking, like, what can I do to, be a part of this? And I was thinking, well, I could do something with painting, but not necessarily like, a lesson, and not necessarily a tour, but more of a walk and paint. So it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We make our own little sketchbook souvenir. Yeah, it's just great. 4 stops, like 5-minute walks in between. It's very exciting.
And it's in the Marais as well?
Yes, it is.
So do my Marais tour and then go and meet Lena and paint your own souvenir, basically.
Exactly.
And if you're thinking about doing my tours but hadn't made up your mind, let me just announce they're award-winning tours now. TripAdvisor gave them the Traveler's Choice Award.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
That's very cool. That's a big deal.
For a side gig as a podcaster. But listen to this review from TripAdvisor. It came in May 2026. And it says, last week on my 7th trip to Paris, I finally did an Eiffel Tower walking tour. Wonder why it took him 7 trips. As a long-time listener of the podcast, it was a delight to meet Oliver G. and to be guided through the Marais. And what I can tell you now, with hand on heart, was the best tour I've ever done anywhere. If you think you know the city well, think again. You will be surprised and delighted by the secrets revealed and the hidden gems uncovered. I enjoyed the tour so much I signed up for a second walk through the Latin Quarter 2 days later. These are not your average guided tours. It's like walking with a friend who knows all the cool stuff. The things you see and learn will stay with you for long after, and all the tips and recommendations along the way will enhance your experience of the beautiful city of Paris. Run, don't walk, to sign up for any or all of the tours run by Oliver and his amazing team.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nice?
That is a great recommendation.
I couldn't have said it better myself, so I won't. Thanks to everyone who leaves reviews. Thanks to everybody who gets our children's books. And thanks to everyone who's a member of this show. But that'll do it for now. The Eiffel Tower is what you've been listening to. Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell someone, for goodness sake. Spread the word. And I'll be back again later this week with another episode from the archives linked to the letter C. The music you've been listening to is by Press Maxon, as always, and he said, for the letter C, there's so much musical goodness around that letter. C is for Charles Aznavour and Trenet, not to mention other artists like Maurice Chevalier or even Claude Debussy. So I picked maybe my favorite Aznavour song, Tu te laisses aller. Tu te laisses aller. Tu te laisses aller. Hard to pronounce, easy to enjoy. He says, on a personal note, it was my uncle's favorite tune out in Brittany. Both he and my aunt had C names as well. Craig and Carol. Shout out to Craig and Carol. So I figured I had to do that one, and that's his version of Aznavour's Tu te laisses aller. Gosh, hard to say, just like the Carnavalet Museum and its original name, Kernevenoy. I'll leave you on that thought. Thanks to everyone for listening. I'll be back again soon. Merci and au revoir.
Bye.